beyond like just using it as a bag, guys. This is like an obsession. They're like, I'm playing with them like toys, guys. Like at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm almost 31 years old and I'm behaving like this. This is so, it's kind of embarrassing, but then I'm realizing like, wait a sec, but a lot of people do this stuff. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Jess. It's my day off today and I was feeling kind of like, I don't know, down. I'm not sure why, guys, but I like to like think about what has made me feel down when I do feel down. Like I feel like self-conscious. I've got like this pimple, like a hidden pimple that's like I keep picking at, and I don't know, I just feel like, you know when you just feel like agitated by yourself? Like that's how I feel today. And I was thinking, why do I feel like this? And then I remembered, well, there was this jacket. I thought, oh, that would be nice to get. And then I kind of forgot about it. And then last night, it was like 12 a.m. and I went to purchase it because I was like, oh heck, I'm just gonna buy that jacket. And I went to check out and the checkout like thing wasn't working. So I think there was like a glitch in the website and I was getting really frustrated. It was really late at night. When you go shopping, do you get like a little bit of like an adrenaline rush? Like for me, it's like, I don't know, I get such a high out of shopping. I was like, oh, I gotta get this jacket. And then like the checkout wasn't working. So it was making me feel like really agitated. I was like, why can't I check out? And I couldn't check out. And then the next day, the jacket wasn't there anymore and I couldn't buy it. And I just was like, oh, like I didn't even really want it that much. But now that I can't buy it, I just feel like really bummed out that I couldn't buy it. I almost feel like a little kid who couldn't like get the lollipop at the supermarket. Like I feel like really like, oh, like, I don't know, like sad. I'm like, why do I feel so sad? And so I think that's why today I'm really just bummed out because I couldn't buy that jacket. And sometimes I think that like with buying handbags and then like having all these releases all the time and always feeling FOMO, we deep down, or for me anyway, I deep down am feeling really bummed all the time because I keep missing out on stuff that I kind of wanted but then slipped out of my hands. I wanted to talk about today, well, there's that, but then there's also the reasons why we might buy handbags and how they make us feel, and how sometimes I feel like the reason I buy handbags, it feels like the same way it felt like when I got a new toy when I was little or something. And I honestly think that sometimes handbags are like buying toys but like for grown-ups. What do I mean by that? Well, if you think about like Chanel and how they release their bags, you know, every season or so, and if you think about like all the hype bags, like, you know, there was the perfect fit bag with the iridescent like pink and like the unicorn colors, and then, you know, everyone who has the money will probably, you know, if I had a $1 billion, I would have totally bought that bag too. And you know, these are bags that, you know, you play with for a little bit and you have it for a few months, and then I know I've seen people who've bought these bags and then, you know, then another release comes out, they're on to the next thing, and then, you know, you've got the, oh, what's next? Like, I don't know, the pink classic flap in the caviar, and you're like, oh, you know, this is the new pink, like we need to get it. And then, you know, you play with that for a few months and then, oh, bam, now we've got the heart-shaped bags. Now we've got to collect all the little sizes. We've got the small one, you've got the big one. Oh my gosh, like play with these for a little bit, and then, you know, there's another thing. Like at this point, like they're not even really bad. Like we're not buying them to wear them, we're buying them because they're like cute things to play with. Like they're like little toys. Like if you like at this point, guys, like if you look at the heart-shaped bags, they literally look like toys. And even some of these like little micro bags that Chanel are releasing, it's like we're not buying bags to like use them as bags, we're buying them because they're like cute little objects. And for me, I know I kind of justify it to myself that I use them, you know, to carry my things. But a lot of the time, guys, I'm drawn to like the cool color, or just I'm in awe of the craftsmanship, and I like to look up at all the little stitches. And, you know, especially, whoa, my Chanel bag moved. Especially I find that people are so obsessed with zooming in on all the little stitches and seeing they're all perfect, and, you know, really analyzing these bags, like, you know, under the microscope. And we're not really buying them for the purpose of just carrying our stuff. We're like really looking in on them. Like, you know, when you're a little kid and you have a toy and you're just in such awe of this toy, and you're just like, I don't know, guys, like when I was little, my sister was different, but I used to really cherish any toy I got. So I was pretty lucky when I was little. Not all kids obviously get toys when they're little, but every time I went to the dentist, because I had to get root canal on my tooth quite a lot, because when I was little I like smacked my face into a monkey bar and like half my tooth came out, and then I had to keep going to the dentist for a few years. Anyway, I had root canal a few times when I was like 6 or 7, and I remember every time I went to the dentist my mum would buy me a Beanie Kid, and I remember being so excited about that Beanie Kid, guys, and I would just like put the Beanie Kids on my shelf and keep them perfect. I wasn't those kids that left the tags on, but I used to cut the tags off and keep them in a photo album. I thought it was weird to keep because I didn't want the paper to get bent on the tag, so I used to like store all the tags in a photo album, and I'd keep all the toys perfect. I'd be like, oh. And honestly, guys, like when I think about the way I treat my bags, it's very similar to that, because I found myself starting to buy like little charms and like, you know, getting creative. Oh my gosh, getting creative with like the twirlies, and like it's like dressing up a Barbie doll. Like I'm like, oh my gosh, put this little twirly on it, a little charm. Like this is beyond like just using it as a bag, guys. This is like an obsession. They're like, I'm playing with them like toys, guys. Like at this point I'm like, okay, I'm almost 31 years old and I'm behaving like this. This is so, it's kind of embarrassing, but then I'm realizing like, wait a sec, but a lot of people do this stuff, and is it embarrassing like that I'm treating these bags like, I don't know, like things to play with? For me, I do use these bags, but at the same time, I'm a little bit too obsessed with like dressing them up. Also like collecting things and like having different colors and like variety of shapes, and it's like collecting Barbie dolls or like anything, like having like a variety of styles and looking at them. And anyways, guys, the mindset of buying bags sometimes it reminds me very much of like the feeling you got when you were little and, you know, it was Christmas and you could get a new thing, and then, you know, then it's the next new thing and it's the next new thing. And I really think that these companies play on these emotions and like, you know, these childlike characteristics that we still have within ourselves. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I think it's okay to like feel like you don't never want to grow up, and, you know, you still want to enjoy silly things like that. But you also have to sometimes snap yourself back to reality and think like, I shouldn't be feeling so sad about missing out on a bag. Like I'm literally acting like a 3-year-old, and I shouldn't feel so sad about missing out on like not buying a jacket at 12 a.m. at night. Like I should just move on with my life. Hey guys, I think the reason I felt bad today is because I just think my immunity is down. I keep getting these like little rashes and stuff. Maybe I have long COVID, I don't know, guys, but okay, I look like a mess right now, but also I ended up buying the jacket, so the website started working, the jacket came back. Like, why is this getting me down? Like, there are much bigger problems in the world, but so much of my time is fixated on like, what's the new thing coming out? Like, oh my gosh, I need to like snap onto that, and I don't know, guys, like, it's just a very childlike mindset, and sometimes I really do think that I personally need to grow up. That being said, guys, I don't think everyone who has, you know, a giant handbag collection has a problem. Amelia Rose Closet did an amazing video about this, about like, you know, how people judge people who have a massive handbag collection. And oh my gosh, my neighbor's doggy is talking to me again. He always sees me talking through the window, guys, and he starts woofing at me. Oh, just shush. Okay, so yeah, she talked about how sometimes people will assume that if you're collecting a lot of handbags that you're kind of trying to fill like a gap in your life or a hole in your heart or something, and that is sometimes the case, honestly, but that's not necessarily the case. Like some people just, you know, there's nothing wrong in their life, actually they're doing quite well and they just want to add more bags to their life because they can. And for me, guys, I would say it's a mix of both. I do emotionally shop. Sometimes I feel like my life is boring, and bags for me are like a massive distraction and something so exciting for me. I also feel like during lockdown, especially, I was bag crazy because it completely like soothed my anxiety, and like watching unboxings just like was the most exciting thing for me. But yeah, that is probably something for me, but it's not necessarily the case for everyone. So Anyways, guys, I just wanted to talk about that today. I don't know if that even made any sense, that video. I just had a few thoughts on my mind and wanted to talk about how I feel today. So thanks for watching my blurby video, and I guess I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye!